All right, so we're live, but before we get started with this week's North by Northwest Presents, I wanted to make a really quick announcement. First of all, I'm Shelly Partis. I am the Region 13 Education Coordinator, and I wanted to just take a moment today to recognize two wonderful new additions to our regional faculty, and that is Sandy Smith, who is also our communication coordinator, and your North by Northwest Presents presenter today, or this week, Rachel Pack. So I just wanted to do that live and on Facebook since we had the opportunity, and that's pretty much it. So now I'm gonna just turn it over to Rachel, who's your presenter for this week. And Sandy, thank you again, and welcome to the regional faculty.
Thank you.
Great. You're on.
Good morning. So I'm Rachel Pack, and today I'm going to be talking about the power of the voice. But before I get started, I wanted to tell you a little bit about me. So I'm going to go over some things you might see on my resume. Up until recently, I was singing tenor with Renegade Quartet. Let's see, I am working 3 jobs currently. I am a public high school teacher. I teach high school choir, grades 9 through 12, lots of different levels in there. I also teach music theory to high school students. I am the incredibly proud director of Jet Cities Chorus out of Federal Way. Woo-hoo! And recently I've started doing online, like virtual private voice lessons. So you would see all of those things on my resume, and you would probably infer that I am incredibly passionate about teaching music. But I also wanted to talk to you about some of the things you would not see on my resume. You would not see that I am an extreme perfectionist. In fact, I've got some notes with me here today that I'll be looking at briefly here and there to make sure I can stay on track. You would not see that my biggest fear is appearing incompetent in front of others. And you would not see that I have this really unfortunate habit. And the habit is when I receive a compliment or somebody tells me something that I'm doing well, it bounces off of me. And I don't know where it goes, somewhere out in the universe. And that's the end of it. But when I receive a criticism or a complaint or a suggestion even, it sticks and it seeps in and it becomes part of my reality. And like I said, this is a really unfortunate habit to have. And even though I'm aware of it, it still gets me sometimes. So the reason I wanted to open with this is if you are somebody that also has that habit, it's going to be really easy as you're listening to me this morning to say, she's not talking to me. This doesn't apply to me. And I want to counter that and say, yes, I am talking to you, especially you if you have that habit and you don't let those compliments in. So that's where we're going to start. And I also want to mention that being a singer with these traits, being a perfectionist, having a fear of appearing incompetent, and having that habit I just talked about is incredibly difficult. When you play an instrument, you are doing things with your body that interact with that instrument. The instrument produces the sound, and that's what the audience is experiencing. When you're a vocalist, there is no buffer. There's no barrier. You do things with your body produces the sound, and just like that, the audience is experiencing that musical product. And so singing can be really, really vulnerable and personal. And a lot of the time, it's easy to connect your voice with your self-worth. So when somebody comes up to me after a performance and says, "Oh, I heard you did great, but you were a little flat on that second song." First of all, the compliment bounces off, didn't even hear that. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I am a terrible person. I just sing flat. That's all I do. Which, of course, is ridiculous. If I stepped back and thought about it for more than 10 seconds, I would realize how silly I sound. But in the moment, man, it just like, it becomes my reality. So I wanted to talk about being a part of this amazing organization, having the opportunity to hear and be a part of these courses and be able to hear so many different vocalists at so many different skill levels. And it's really empowering to be a part of it. But I think the pitfall is when we are hearing so many vocalists, it's really easy to identify people that are at a higher skill level than you are and that are at a lower skill level than you are. And we create this ladder in our heads. We're like, okay, well, I'm here, but I really wish I could sing like that person because then I'd be here, right? And the ladder, it's like not movable. You're on the rung you're on, and that is your reality. And it's almost like you're able to quantify your voice in that way, which unfortunately means a lot of times we end up quantifying our worth as a person because of the way those things transfer. And I wanted to tell you about another option you could use. I want you to think of like more of a sliding scale rather than a ladder that is set, right? A sliding scale. And this scale is about vocal skills. It's not about talent, because talent is fixed. Talent is something you're born with or you're not. And I hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm just not a good singer, or I'm not as good as so-and-so, or I just do this course for fun. I can't really sing. And there's something fundamentally disturbing to me about that. And my heart breaks every time I hear those comments, because I just want to scream at those people. You are so much better than you think you are, and you are capable. So the sliding scale that I was talking about, wherever you're at on the scale of skill level, you can improve. And if you think of somebody that you admire in the world of vocal skills, somebody you look up to, somebody you're like, man, I hope I can sing like that person one day. They are also on the sliding scale, and they are also trying to improve themselves. I guarantee if you go and talk to that person and you ask them, what is your greatest weakness in vocal skills? They are going to have an answer for you. I would be shocked if you went and asked them that question and they said, weakness? What are you talking about? I don't have a weakness. I am perfect. I have peaked. This is it. It's not going to happen. That's not anybody's truth. We're all trying to get better. We're all improving. And as a director, as a teacher, it doesn't matter where you are on the sliding scale. It doesn't define you as a person. What defines you is, do you want to get better? Do you want to improve yourself as a vocalist, as a person? Do you enjoy what you're doing? Are you passionate about your chorus? Are you passionate about your quartet? About singing alone in the shower? So for anybody that also has the characteristics that I have, that unfortunate habit that you won't let compliments in, I'm going to give you 3 hard truths. And this is what I'm going to leave you with today. And the reason they're hard truths is because you might think I'm not talking to you, but I am talking to you. The truths are as follows. You are an important and valuable member of your chorus. people would miss you if you stopped singing. You are capable of musical growth. We are all just trying to suck a little bit less than we did yesterday. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it back over to Shelly. I have so appreciated this opportunity. Please keep your eye on the Facebook page for future North by Northwest presents. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. I'm going to make one quick announcement. We will not be having a North by Northwest Presents next week as we are having our Region 13 area school, Ida Gonska area school that week. So I hope all of you will be signing up for that and taking advantage of that great educational opportunity. But thank you again, Rachel, and we will hope you all have a great weekend.